It's going to be a really quick video just so I can show my son how to do certain things in iMovie and some other YouTubers who've asked me. So I've created a project here, and I'm just going to go into the project. I'm going to bring over some raw footage. In my case, that would be stored under camera loads, and then under a date we'll go with something recent, so we'll do January, and we'll just pick a time. I'm not sure which camera was used for what. Let's just pick this one and see what we get. Okay, this is not a great video to show you what I want to show you, and I'll tell you why. It's because I'm already pretty much in full frame on this video. Now, some videos that you bring in are going to be pretty different. What I mean by that, let me see if I can find one here. Nope, that's not the one I wanted either. Let me find, if I go to this date, and I get something from the GoPro, it's going to be a lot bigger. And here's what I mean by that. I'm going to bring the GoPro down here and put it beside this one. Now, here's a good place right here to start with. Let me just cut away this front part. In this camera, I am already pretty much in the full frame, so it wouldn't make sense to, you don't really have any room to make it larger and smaller. In this camera, I am in the frame, but there's an awful lot of other things in the frame with me, so I've got plenty of room to change where I'm located and what you are able to see on the final video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at a point like here, and I'll cut that piece of video, and I'll cut this piece of video here, and then I'll go up to this little blue box right here, which is cropping. I'll click on that. Now I've got some options here. I've got fit, which on this camera doesn't matter because it's a GoPro, but on some of these other cameras it comes into the camera in a different format. And I've got crop to fill. But the one that gets interesting is Ken Burns. And Ken Burns was a movie maker who made a lot of documentaries, and he made them largely out of photographs. He made one about the Civil War, so he didn't really have anything to work with other than photographs. But what he did was, in order to make those photographs interesting, is he made it appear that they were moving, and he did so by moving the camera in and out. And the way to do that, he actually came up with and created a type of movie making that they call Ken Burns now. And to do this, when I bring up that box and I've highlighted this piece of film, you see I have two windows here. This one says start and this one says end. So start is where this is going to start at, and end is where it's going to end at. So I can move this box and make it very much smaller or very much larger, or I can place it in a different place. But let's just put it right on my face. Now, you'll remember I created this little box of video right here. In fact, I'll take all the other video away, so that's the only box of video there. Now that I've put that there, you'll see the camera moves into my face over the course of this video, which is like 28 seconds long. If I wanted to have it pan in and pan out, I could split this video by hitting Control B here. I need to be in here. Control B. Now I've got two videos here, and so I can click on the second video. I can go back to this box, and there's this little circular sign, and basically what that does is that reverses the two boxes so that it goes from start to end and then from end to start. When I reverse it, this becomes start and this becomes end. So on this video, the Ken Burns on it goes from large to small. On this video, it goes from small to large, and it does so on the same piece of film. So that when I run this piece of film, let me get my cursor to come back to where I want it to be.
Inside of my...
So when I run this piece of film,
another problem.
let me turn the volume down on both of these. That way we won't have that to deal with. So basically this is how I turn down the volume of the whole video. So I just basically silence that video. So now when this video runs, you can see the camera is panning in toward me. And when it reaches a certain point, which is the point where I cut that little section of film in two, it will start to pan back out. Now let's just see, and I've noticed on some of Josh's videos, he does a lot of videos of himself sitting in front of a camera. And I've noticed he's got a camera that tries to automatically focus, so that camera sits there, and every time he moves, that camera kind of jumps a little bit. What he could do is he could cut it in, he could take that whole long piece of film and cut it into a bunch of sections and have it panning in and out. You can do different things with this too. For example, let's just say, let's unsplit this, and you can just undo the volume, undo the flip, undo the split. Now we've made this one piece of video again. But let's just say we want to take that piece of video, and instead of having it focus on my face, what if we want it to come up here? What if we want it to come down here and focus on the bed? So we'll split that. And then we'll come back to this and we'll reverse that so that it goes from starting on the bed to ending on my face. So we'll just basically make this starting one smaller. And we'll have it come over to here. And then we'll split that again. And then we'll come back to this and we'll reverse it again so that it starts from there, and then we'll have the end one come to, oh, I don't know where we want it to come to. Let's have it finish down here. No, let's not. That wouldn't be interesting, would it? What would be interesting? Let's have it finish on the hot rod. So the hot rod is sitting back here. So we'll have it do that, and then we'll split that one again. And then we'll take this final one and we'll come back to where the Ken Burns is. We'll split that again. And so we'll have it starting on the hot rod, and then I'm going to make this one much bigger so we can have it ending out here. So basically in this 28-second video, we're going to have it go from large to focused on the bed to focused on the hot rod, and then back to about where it is now. I could make it come all the way back to where it is now, so that we get everything in the picture. So we'll do that. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the beginning, and we're going to start the video. Inside of my computer. Another problem I came up with in swapping cameras around is that cameras themselves make noise. So if I got a camera that's running and that camera is making noise, that noise is going to affect the quality of what you're able to hear when I put that into a video. And sometimes the noise is really objectionable. For example, it's inside. Okay, so that's an example of how with one piece of video I'm able to get a lot of different views. Now one of the things you have to have is you have to have enough stuff in your frame to go somewhere. So let's just take, I had this one up here earlier for an example. On this one, there's not much of a place to go. I could make that larger and smaller and do a few things, but unlike the other, which had this whole great big shop and me kind of small in the middle, there's not much of a place to go there. I'm going to stop this video because it's already gotten too long, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about something else. Thank you.